now that everything is said and done, and it looks like Nicki will not be going on a third leg for her Pink Friday 2 World Tour. I think that's the name, because at one point I think it was Pink Friday 2 Gag City World Tour, and then it was like Pink Friday 2 World Tour Gag City Reloaded. Like, she had a bunch of she had a few different names for the tour, kind of playing off of the Gag City thing, which I think is dope. We'll talk about that a little later in the episode. But now that it doesn't look like a third leg is gonna happen, and I've had the pleasure of seeing her twice on this tour, recap, because the shows I went to, they were vastly different. I feel like I don't know, I want to talk about it. It's the queen of rap, you know what I'm saying? Nicki Minaj, all that. So, I just want to give my flowers. Either way, if you are new here to this here podcast, this is called the Talk and Play Blurred Pod. It's literally a little space on the internet, a little piece of corner here on the World Wide Web, where I just kind of blurt out about whatever it is I'm interested in at the moment. Tend to focus on music, anime, gaming, TV shows, movies, and sometimes I laugh at these celebrities doing crazy stuff. But other than that, you know what I'm saying, I'm just on here talking about what I'm interested in. If you're returning, you already knew that stuff. Thank you so much for showing up once again. I appreciate it. I don't know, one day I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna Google a bunch of words that like correctly express how grateful and appreciative I am that you guys just keep tuning in for whatever odd reason. I'm not quite sure, because I'm not as consistent as other podcasts, and I don't also talk about the same like stuff other podcasters discuss. The blurred space is not that huge, and it's not that big in the podcast space. But for some reason, y'all be finding my shit and supporting, and I fuck with that. So yeah, the roadmap for this episode, we're talking about the damn tour. Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday 2 World Tour, Gag City Reloaded, all of the tour for the Pink Friday 2 World Tour. And that's it. I'm gonna just share my thoughts and opinions, give this quick review, and I'm gonna be out y'all way. So let's listen to some concert footage, because I took plenty of video at both tour stops, but let's listen to some concert audio, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just get into the review.
All these bitches is my what? And I'm gonna go and get some big form, a couple formulas, little pretty lips on, pull it out and kiss on. Let me shake it off, kiss DJ Boof. He ain't lifting up, I don't need a mediator, just let them bums blow steam, the radiator. Two fingers up, two fingers up, two fingers up, two fingers up.
So before I go ahead and get into the review, let's just run down the accolades real quick, because this tour has been historic, monumental, for so many different reasons. Nicki broke a bunch of, did she break records? Yeah, or set records, I should say. I'm not even necessarily sure what the correct terminology is, but I do know this tour, highest grossing female rap tour of all time. That's anybody, past or present. Amazing. Why? Because back when Nicki first was coming into the game and really dominating, really like flexing on people and shit like that, there's a bunch of people that had a lot to say about, oh, she ain't got no competition. Oh, the only reason she on top is because she ain't got no competition. Some other girls came in and they was rapping good. She wasn't even da-da-da. They tried to do the same shit, like if Aaliyah was still alive, Beyonce wouldn't be Beyonce. They tried to do the same thing with Nicki right here, right? It's just crazy though, because not only did Nicki open the door and then usher in pretty much all of the new girls that you guys see or hear now and are loving, But a lot of them have decided to go against her and are competing against her, and they're not winning. It just, the numbers don't lie. I can't make it up, and neither can you. So I mean, it just is what it is. But highest grossing female rap tour of all time, fourth highest grossing rap / hip hop tour of all time, past or present. That's pretty fucking huge. I think the numbers, she grossed like $108 million on this tour, gross. Dope. 750,000 tickets sold across 70 shows. This includes overseas stop because it's a world tour, so she did pull up to Europe and some of those other countries over there. You know, amazing, monumental. Now, why this tour was amazing to me, right? This is where we get into the review part. First of all, let me talk about the set. Now, when the Gag City trend was like popping off, like when Nicki first like dropped the album or whatever, Pink Friday 2, and like she was having a moment with the or before she dropped the album, I should say, and she was having a moment with the Barbz on Twitter and probably like Station Head, one of these other apps where you could talk to people. I think it was Station Head, or oh no, at the time I believe the other app was still going on that Amazon had that has got shut down now. I forgot what it's called. Either way, she was on the apps or whatever, and you know, she kept saying, you know, this app is gonna take us to Gag City. It's gonna gag us. It's gonna gag us. This app gonna take us. Not the app. This album is gonna take us to Gag City. It's gonna gag us. It's gonna gag us. It's gonna take us to Gag City with this album. The Barbz latched on to that Gag City shit hard. I don't know if it was intentional. I can't necessarily say it was intentional. I don't think Nicki like knew just how big this whole Gag City moment was gonna grow. So the Barbz, you know, in support of Pink Friday 2, when it was getting ready to drop, like jumped on Twitter and any other place that you could post pictures, and literally like generated hundreds of thousands of like AI generated like Gag City themed anything. Like literally built a AI city dedicated to Nicki and Pink Friday 2, titled Gag City. And from there, shit just kind of took off. If you was on Twitter when this was happening, then you saw all the big brands, Outback, Target, Walmart, Spotify, everybody wanted to have their own little place in Gag City. It was literally not a real place. People was just going on these AI generators and finding a way to create pink cityscapes with pink everything in it, and it was dope. I even took part. I got my own little myself in Gag City. You know, I'm a 420 Barb, so I was in the field in the Gag City, you know, doing my 420 thing. But to have this concept that was ultimately fleshed out and maybe definitely fleshed out by the Barbz, and then her take it and make it a whole thing, like, I just thought that was like dope. So I say that based on the actual stage design. I've posted videos on my TikTok at BRIANSAPPH if you're interested. Same thing on my Instagram, BRIANSAPPH. That's Brian Saff, for people who can't pronounce or don't know why my name is spelled like that. Either way, I posted videos on my Instagram about, showcasing the set. I don't know, it's just fire. Where like the way she had her screens and lighting arranged, it literally looked like it was a cityscape behind her, and I just thought that was really dope because she like took Gag City and like made it a thing. Like, oh no, I'm taking y'all to Gag City on this tour. Y'all gonna see what I see when I think about Gag City. And we did. The screens, like the everything, the lighting, the visuals, like all of it just lined up with the whole Gag City theme and vibe. And I just thought that was pretty dope. I really, really enjoyed that. Probably my second favorite like set ever. Second only to Beyonce, because I also attended the Renaissance tour. I reviewed that as well on an earlier episode of this here podcast. That stage design was incredible. Because Beyonce had a big ass fucking screen. It was just moving. Like, she was just doing shit with her stage design that was like fucking incredible. Nicki's more, she got screens and the lighting and everything is arranged to look like a cityscape. And then she got a bunch of like different levels she can walk up and down, and a catwalk that goes out into the middle of the crowd on the floor. It was dope. I really, really appreciated that. I'm looking at the show as it's going on and watching the animations and things on the screens change and the lighting and everything. I'm like, damn, she really took that Gag City shit to heart and like turned it into something visual that and tangible that the Barbz can remember for like ever, as like a moment that we created with her. Like, she kept saying, the album is going to gag us. It's going to take us to Gag City, blah, blah, blah. And we was like, okay, you want to see Gag City, Nicki? Let's, AI is big right now. Let's grab one of these generators and take you to Gag City. And she, repaid us by making this like a real thing on tour. I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking dope. Can't even be mad at that. Now, see, that right there specifically, the stage design and set, that is a huge part of why I saw the show twice, right? Because the first time I saw it earlier this year, which I reviewed it on an earlier episode of this podcast, I went to Gag City Dreamville. Pales in comparison to like a full-on Gag City show. Saying that because Nicki was not able to bring her massive screens with this whole city landscape and everything. She kind of had to just queue up on the, little average, everyday, regular festival screens that J. Cole had set up on that small stage. I'm still mad about that, honestly, because this is the same Dreamville where he apologized to Kendrick for responding to the diss that Kendrick issued to him first. So I'm like, bro, you spent a good 10 minutes like sitting on stage. You got the biggest stage at the festival. Granted, this is your festival, so I get it. I understand you gonna headline every night. It just makes sense. But you had the biggest fucking stage with the most amount of time to perform your music, and you done wasted 10 minutes of it apologizing to Kendrick just for Kendrick to keep dissing you as he's backhand slapping Drake all up and down the motherfucking industry. It just didn't make sense to me. Because you got Nicki on a smaller stage, not as much room for her and the dancers to get around. She couldn't really set up nothing other than some staircases. Meanwhile, you got the big ass stage that clearly that definitely could have fit her stage design on it. And you just apologized to Kendrick and then performed a bunch of songs we already heard a bunch of times. You released that new project or that EP like the day before Dreamville, so we didn't really have a chance to like listen to the music and fall in love with it and want to go to your set and sing those songs back to you. It was just, I don't know. That was a weird time, but I was kind of tight with J. Cole for not, letting Nicki just headline the second night and get the big stage. It bothered me a little bit. Because on top of that, she had to cut down her set. Like, the actual Gag City, the Pink Friday 2 Gag City World Tour show is 4 hours long. It's 4 hours. Mind you, the second leg, which is when I went to Gag City Reloaded in Gag City, Tampa, the openers took about half of that time, maybe an hour and a half of that time. DJ Boof, fire, he DJ'd twice. Skillet Bean came out first, then Bia, then Tyga. All of them together, that was about 2 hours, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. The rest of the 4 hours, 2 hours plus, all Nicki. Granted, she had some transitions in there so she could like alternate between different characters or whatever. We'll get into that later, or a little later. But ultimately, the show was about 4 hours long. Gag City Dreamville on that small festival stage, 45 minutes. 45 minutes. She barely performed anything. By the time the crowd was like really rocking, like, oh yeah, we getting the hits. She was like, yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off now. You know, Cole's about to start his set over on the main stage. Thank y'all for showing. I'm like, what? 45 minutes. This is after, because initially I was just gonna find a tour stop to go to, like a regular tour stop to go to and watch, you know, this show or whatever. But on Station Head, she said all of the festival dates, they will be the same Gag City show that the rest of the Barbz are getting in the arenas. Not changing anything. So if you have a festival ticket and you planning on stopping at my set, you're going to get the same experience. That's not the truth. It wasn't the truth. Because I knew before then how long the show was going to be, because the tour is already going. So I'm expecting, okay, she about to close out the show. We're going to get at least hour and a half of Nicki. 45 minutes. I wasn't with it. I think she felt slighted by that a little bit as well, because on the second leg of the tour, she did end up going back to Raleigh, North Carolina, which is where the Dreamville Festival is. But yeah, I was just not fucking with that. So I was like, okay, when she announced, okay, I'm going back on the second leg, y'all pull up if y'all trying to see me, I was like, I have to go, because I didn't get the full experience at Gag City Dreamville, so I need to go. I was gonna go to so she came here on the first leg. She came to Orlando. I missed it. I think I was traveling somewhere. Then for the second leg, on my actual birthday, September 28th, she was in Vegas. I was planning on flying over there just to go to the show, chill with my homie a little bit, and then come back. But I was like, you know what? She's going to be in Tampa the following week. I'm going to just wait for that. So that's what we ended up doing, going to Gag City, Tampa. So glad I did that because this is a completely different experience than seeing Nicki at Dreamville, which I don't know, I'm kind of mad about that still because I prefer festivals at this point. Like, I really, really love festivals. Everything about them is just amazing. The vibe, you know what I'm saying? You normally in a park somewhere so you can like spread out under, you know, a tree or in a field or whatever and just watch shit go on these stages or whatever. It's really dope. And going to festivals, you know what I'm saying, you just get more. Like, I enjoy concerts at arenas and amphitheaters and stadiums and things like that. But those are usually, you know, the time constraints there are usually a lot tighter. And usually, you know, get maybe 3 max openers and then you see in the headliner, then you getting out of there. Festivals, them bitches go anywhere from 8 to 12 hours, multiple days. And it's just artists on artists on artists on artists, multiple stages, a lot of walking around. But it's a vibe because you like outside, you know what I'm saying? Depending on the weather, it could either be feeling great or it could be hot as fuck or it could be cold. But you're prepared and, you know, you can roll up, do what you need to do to enjoy yourself, enjoy the vibe. Like, I love festivals. I mean, arenas especially, stadiums and things, they get a lot more lax, at least here in Florida, with, you know, tripping about, you know what I'm saying, weed and stuff. But for festivals, it's almost a guarantee you could do that shit, because who's gonna stop you in a sea of fucking people? They don't even have enough security. They kind of just be winging that shit when it comes to the safety of us out there. See Astro World if you tripping, or if you think I'm tripping. But no, because, you know, I don't even like talking about Astro World because I don't like how they did Travis behind that shit. Like, festivals be turned, bro. Like, sometimes shit be going on like that. And it's not Travis' fault because his fans love him like that enough to trample each other just to make sure they get a good eye view.
Picture my hair giving wet and wavy strawberry death. Yo, matter of fact, we take that back before they steal that. Picture me opening the vault, bitch, I seal that. Picture them disses sticking like this, bitch, Picture me telling bitches catch it, I done feel that. Picture me not telling my little niggas real that. Picture you ended up under the sea with a dread that. Picture not listening when I said you would dread that. I mean, Lux hoe, you a trap hoe. I'm number one. Please, fuck. Picture me dressed in black, they calling me Miss Mary Mac. You get the picture. My niggas airing that like married to the mob. Bitch, I'm married to the man. Picture it not getting scary. It's scarier.
Moving along. Yeah. So all that to say, when she said on Station Head that the festival stops are gonna be the same show as the arena, I was okay. So I'm gonna just go to Dreamville. I was already planning on going there anyway to see other artists perform on the lineup, but again, didn't get what we were supposed to get at Dreamville according to what she said was supposed to happen at Station Head. So I had to pull up to Tampa to see her full show the way she intended for us to see it. Now, I said earlier that there was some intermissions happening and things so that she can alternate characters and things. I really fuck with that with this show. One, because that has been something that I've been wanting Nicki Minaj to do for a long time. Not necessarily a show, but I want her to do albums that are centered around her alter egos, or like do Roman versus Barbie the album, or something to like further extend the lore and play into these characters that she's pretty much been building with the Barbz for I don't know how many years now. I was wanting to do that. So to see her kind of bring that shit to life on stage for this tour, that shit was dope. Again, something else that we didn't get at Dreamville because the show was so like truncated down to like a quick 45-minute festival set. She didn't even change outfits. Like she went out there, performed, did her shit, told us she appreciated us for showing up, and that she thanked J. Cole for inviting her, and she got the fuck off stage. And this was after she was late. But I'm saying all that to say, like, I really fuck with the stage show itself, like the intention behind all of the props and the graphics and the designs and everything going on in the Gag City like screens and everything, because she really put 5 boxes up there. She had a box for Harajuku Barbie, she had a box for just Barbie, she had a box for Roman, Red Ruby, and Chun-Li. So 5 boxes, and that's how many intermissions it was. So between each change, you got to see the intent or the character behind each song. So during Roman's set, for example, she did Roman's Revenge, she did Monster. For Barbie's set, she did the Barbie World song. Is it called Barbie World? Yeah, Barbie. She did the Barbie World song. She didn't know the song she got Ice Spice. She did another song that was like very, very Barbie, like for that character specifically. Obviously, Chun-Li got the Chun-Li song and some other songs that had like Asian influence. So did Harajuku and Red Ruby, obviously Red Ruby's leads. It was just dope, like seeing her separate these characters and like say these are the songs that these characters usually represent. So Harajuku, for example, that was a lot of pop. You know what I'm saying? We got like starships and all kind of shit, and same thing with Barbie. Barbie got like what's the song, Super Bass and shit like that. Harajuku got fucking I'm gonna tell you this once you the illest. Like it was just dope to see her characterize her songs based on the characters that she had created throughout her career and like give them their own time on stage, complete with an outfit change and a wig change. I just thought that was dope. So I don't know, stage show overall, I was like, wow, this is really dope. I'm glad I got to experience this because that again, that's been something that I've been wanting her to portray in some way. She decided to do it on stage. I was thinking more of an album, but either way, it kind of all makes sense because these songs are spread out throughout her catalog anyway. So I was like, okay, this is really dope. She did not bring any guests out for the Gag City Tampa show. Some of the other shows, and which I don't know. I want to feel a way about that, but at the same time, I don't. Just because artists typically do that. Whenever they go, whenever they are on tour, only like the huge cities get like special shit like that. So Tampa is not necessarily a huge city. So we didn't get a special guest. Even though Doechii is from Tampa, she could have brought Doechii out. Rod Wave is from Tampa. She could have brought Rod Wave out. Rod Wave is from Tampa, right? I know he's from Florida. Is it Tampa specifically? I want to say yes. But yeah, stuff like that. But then I think about it. Oh yeah, for the Miami show, she did bring out Sway Lee, I think. Yeah, but I don't know. It's usually Miami, New York, Atlanta, California, Houston, or even Dallas, like the big cities that everybody across the country knows and loves and whatever. Those usually get the special guests and the new outfits and new hairstyles and shit like that. That's just for artists in general. So I ain't really tight about that. But I was like, Tampa has some hometown heroes here that are like doing big things in music, like Rod Wave and Doechii specifically. I would have loved to see Doechii come out, especially because she's a Nicki fan. She's a Barb. She said that plenty of times. Been on Instagram Live, like breaking down Nicki's lyrics and shit like that for some time now. So I would have loved to see that happen. But I don't know how Nicki's relationship is with TDE post Drake Kendrick beef. so I don't know, maybe that just didn't happen because Kendrick fucked it up. But yeah, stage show, the theatrics and everything behind it, fire. Never seen a show like that, and only Nicki could do a show like that because she's the only one really that has, or I ain't gonna say the only one, but she's the original with that alter ego thing. Like some of the other girls do it now and everything like that, but everybody knows Nicki got Roman and Barbie definitely in the tuck, ready to jump out on the song whenever. Look at the Monsterverse. But then going into like the actual production of it, the dancers, amazing job. Like they were fire. I noticed that I don't know if this was on purpose or the tour has been going on so long that they just comfortable on stage like that. But they were doing a lot to make sure Nicki, not a lot, but they were doing things to make sure Nicki was hitting like certain marks, because she would pop in and out of the choreography or whatever, and they would just seamlessly melt into whatever she was doing to make sure like everything blended well. And I really, really appreciated that. I just thought that was dope that, I don't know, she's doing a little bit of dance. Nicki don't really dance like that. She never been a dancer. That she raps. She gonna try to sing to you a little bit. Dancing, she gonna turn up her own way. But choreography, you can keep that in the bag. But she was definitely popping in and out of the choreo, and I thought that was really, really dope. So we're talking about production. Lighting, I already covered, y'all. Amazing. Lighting was a huge draw as far as keeping your eyes focused on what was going on with the screen. Because obviously you want to look at Nicki because this is her show. You came to see her. You want to sing the songs and everything. But the stage lighting and the fucking images and everything on the Gag City screens and Cityscape, whatever, it was so like well thought out and put together that I was like, damn, you can't help but look around every once in a while and stop focusing on Nicki, especially during Fuck the Club Up. The way that the screens was transitioning with the lyrics, with the Who Wanna Play with Nicki, and the effects that was happening, I was like, damn, this shit, it's a movie over here, really. Like, even the transitions in between, you know, her outfit changes and all that, like, she gave us something to like pay attention to and watch, and I really, really enjoyed that. It wasn't just a quiet arena; it was like engaged in whatever portion of Gag City she was about to take us into next. Really, really dope. The sound. This is coming from somebody with a degree in music and sound technology. That sound team, A1. There was no. Well, I couldn't tell. I ain't gonna say no, but from what I could tell, didn't hear any like issues with the microphones. The levels were perfect. Nicki's levels were perfect. Like, cause Nicki, she's not a backing track kind of rapper. There was a little section in the show where she focused on like her mixtapes and features, like the big ones that everybody knows and love. You know. Boss Ass Bitch and Itty Bitty Piggy, and you know, some of her like iconic feature verses and everything. Those had backing tracks, but that's just because DJ Boof was actually playing her verse and Nicki was just, you know, having a moment with the fans, rapping and letting us rap the song as well. I thought that was dope. But just in the regular show, there's no backing track. So the fact that you can hear Nicki clearly and concisely over these amazing beats that she's picked out throughout her catalog. It sounds like a literal live version recording of the song, but she knows she's not lip syncing or recording, because as soon as she takes the mic away from her mouth, you don't hear anything but the fucking beat until she start rapping again. And that was just sporadic. There's points in the show where she like stops rapping just to make sure that the Barbz are rapping the song back, like just to check, like, do y'all know this song? Y'all really fucking with my music, or is it like, do I need to do something else? But I just thought that was dope. The levels on the sound were perfect. Like, she wasn't louder than the beats, and the beats weren't louder than her. And what I really liked the most, the band was not overshadowing the beat. Because me personally, I understand why live instrumentation is included in live performances and stuff like that across all genres of music. But for rap and hip hop particularly, I don't necessarily care to have a fucking band up there. Why? Because a lot of the beats today, they are created on computers. So it's not real drum kicks you're hearing. Or maybe it is, but then they've put like plugins or things over them to distort the sound of it, so it doesn't sound like a natural kick. It doesn't sound like a natural snare that you would hear from somebody live playing the drums. I don't mind that. I personally really, really like that, because then it's a lot you can do with those typical sounds that somebody on the drums can't reproduce, just because they don't, you can't synthesize anything. You can't put plugins and stuff over these drums to make them sound like that. So hip hop has been able to expand because we're not confined to live instrumentation to make music only, like rock and roll was for a certain time. But I don't know. I just don't like hearing people playing the drums and live instruments when somebody rapping. I don't like that. And it's not that I don't like it, it's just that let the beat be because I fall in love with the beat and the lyrics first, and the cadence of the rapping and the flows and everything. I don't want to hear you trying to recreate this heavy 808 heavy bass thumping ass beat on your hollow ass drums. Like, just let it not be that. So I really appreciate that in the sound mix, the live band, they're like the drums and everything that she had up there, the live instruments that she had up there, they were not overshadowing the actual beat at all, and she kept the beat in there. I was like, that's great. Cause then you only really get to hear the drums, or the live instruments, I would say, cause she had more than just a drum set up there, but you get to hear the live instruments during like certain parts, like transitions in between different songs. So then you kind of get like a different vibe to the songs all together. Cause it's like, oh shit, this drummer kind of doing something on the drum that definitely wasn't in the actual audio version that you could stream on Spotify, but then it floats perfectly because it melts the transition almost perfectly, because you doing this shit with the drums, and then the beat is slowly like changing to the next song underneath what the drummer is doing, and the violinist for Falling for You. I think I'm falling. I'm fuck with that song. But yeah, I just really, really appreciated that you didn't hear the drums and the other live instruments on stage until like key moments, like transitions, or when she does things like add in instrumentation from a completely different record just to like support what she's doing or the song that she's actually performing. So that was dope. The crowd was actually really lit as well. I didn't expect anything less from the Barbz. Like, I knew niggas was gonna turn up, and niggas did. The set list was really dope. I can't think of a song that I would have loved for her to perform that she did not perform. I think everything that she performed, I was either expecting her to perform it, or I really wanted her to perform it, and she did. So I was really, really happy about that. Didn't necessarily know we was going to get in the mixtape section, because she's kind of been switching that up every show, like giving each city like 1 or 2 songs that she doesn't perform anywhere else. So I thought that was cool. I think ours was... I forget what song she gave us that didn't go to other cities. I don't remember. I want to say Itty Bitty Piggy, but I saw her perform that on a clip for another show. Same thing with Make Me Proud and Up All Night, or maybe Up All Night and Make Me Proud were the ones that we got specifically. I could see that, because I don't remember seeing no clips from any other show where she performed those Drizzy songs, those Dricky songs. I don't know. But set list was really, really dope. She performed pretty much all of her hits, old and new, and then like the most popular of her B-sides. So from top to bottom, you on your feet. You should know all the words if you're a Barb. If not, then you at least know the hits. Cool, which was the majority of the show. So good experience overall. The merch thing was pretty dope as well. Normally, or what I've seen, artists, they'll usually have like little tables, and they have little tables set up around the venue where, you can go get your merch. Nicki didn't have no tables set up nowhere inside the Amalie Arena. She had a truck, a trailer parked outside, like in the courtyard of the Amalie Arena, where you just walk up and you get your shit. You pick what you want and get it. I just thought that was dope. I never seen artists do their merch like that. But then this is Nicki Minaj. She got the bag. So I mean, it is what it is. What was I expecting? Yeah. Just overall, I enjoyed myself. Very, very dope show. I'm glad I got to experience it. Who knows when Nicki will go on tour again. She already said on Station here she's not doing any more festivals. She don't like the outside shit. So festivals are a wrap, at least until further notice. She might decide to pop out still, because festivals, they pay. That's a bag right there. Festivals, especially if they ask you to be there, they're going to pay whatever you want them to pay. Yeah. But yeah, I fuck with the show. Just overall, definitely had a better time at Gag City Tampa than I did at Gag City Dreamville. But that's not to say Gag City Dreamville was terrible. I enjoyed myself there too. Again, the Barbz, they made it fun. If you saw when I posted my footage from Dreamville 2024, they had somebody brought a Bluetooth speaker out there And while we was waiting for Nicki to play, we was literally just playing Nicki songs, just jamming. Yeah, it was a good time to me. But yeah. And then shout out to all the Barbz who showed up in their pink. And you know what I'm saying? Just made sure they supported the queen. Like, overall, man, the show was fire. I'm glad that I got to see the queen of rap in her prime. Just go up there and do her shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to make it a point to see like my top 5 before they decide they don't want to do this shit no more. So I've seen J. Cole a bunch of times. I think 4 or 5 times. Kendrick, I've seen him 3 times, I believe. Drake, seen him like 4 or 5 times, I believe. This makes my 3rd time seeing Nicki live. And well, that's my top 4. My 5 alternates a bunch of times. 1 minute is Jeezy, which I've seen him a bunch of times. Another minute is Future, which I've seen him a bunch of times. Then Travis be sneaking in there every once in a while, which I've seen him once, slightly. He came out for Future set at Rolling Loud maybe like 2 years ago. Got to see Travis. Got to see him in concert, like a full show of his. But overall, yeah. Not to keep talking your ear off about this, Gag City or the Pink Friday 2 Gag City World Tour, or the Pink Friday 2 World Tour, or the Pink Friday 2 World Tour Gag City Reloaded, whichever title you want to go by, you wanted to go by, it was fire. And I enjoyed myself. Blue was there with me. She's always a great time. Love her to pieces. Got me a shirt, had to get me some merch, which is dope because I actually got merch from the Dreamville Festival that was geared towards Nicki. I wore that to the actual Gag City Tampa. So if you on my Instagram and you saw that shirt that I had on, I got that from Dreamville Festival earlier this year. And I was like, okay, perfect. Now I have a real reason to wear this shirt because I don't really wear pink like that. I wear gray all the time, but I don't really have a lot of pink. So I was like, where would I wear this shirt? I don't know, but I'm going to get it because Nicki's on there. And she's a big part of the reason why I went to Dreamville Festival this year. So I'm going to get it. Who knew she was going to go on a second leg and I was going to go? My life is great. It's blessed. I'm eternally grateful, humble, all of that. Like, I just love the life that I live, and I appreciate everything about myself and my life. But yeah, that's it. I ain't really got much more to say. Let's just wrap it up there. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Talk and Play Blurred Pod. Listen to me talk about my experience at Gag City in these multiple Gag Cities. Again, social media, if you plan on fucking with your boy, BRIANSAPPH. Instagram, TikTok, X even for the time being. I've been active on Threads a lot. If you want to follow me over there. YouTube. Shout out to everybody listening to this on YouTube right now. Because I noticed my YouTube analytics are starting to, they picking up crazy. So I fuck with that. But yeah, that's it. Congratulations again to Nicki on this monumental, record-setting, record-breaking tour. Number 4, 4th highest grossing rap/hip-hop tour of all time. You know how many rappers have come before Nicki Minaj? How many rappers have come after Nicki Minaj? Male and female. This ain't just about, gender. Like, Nicki's number 4 out of everybody. I really, really fuck with that. I saw another stat somewhere. Fifth woman to fifth black woman, or woman in general. I think it's black woman to gross over 100 million on tour. I think it's Beyonce, Rihanna, SZA, and obviously Nicki. But somebody else is up there too. I forget. Either way, good shit, Nicki. Queen of rap for a reason. If they didn't believe it now, then they definitely should be sipping the tea at this point in time. Because that's something else that this show of hers, this tour, showcased. The versatility in Nicki Minaj's discography no woman rapper, past or present, has the level of versatility that Nicki's catalog possesses. The fact that she was able to alternate in between these different characters and let them have their own set list of music to perform as those characters, like no other artist, male or female, can really do that. Like, Nicki is incredibly versatile. Her pen is amazing. Punchlines, flows, metaphors, bars, whatever you want to talk about, she got all that shit. What she said in her song, bitches ain't got punchlines or flow. She has both and an empire also. That's just literally what it is. Nicki has an empire, and then she has the top tier level of rap ability to back it up. It's amazing when you really think about it, because we've never seen this before. So yeah, like I said, good shit, Nicki. I really, really fuck with this tour, and this tour in itself like proves why she's the queen. Like, her music spans multiple genres, and she's like the best rapping in all of those genres, especially when it comes to the girls. So it's what it is. But yeah, that's enough fawning over the queen of rap. I'll catch y'all on the next one.
I was on the plane with it. You can call me Whitney, I call it him. Listen, I'm the baddest in the school, the baddest in the game. Excuse me, honey, but nobody's in my line. When you was in New York, you was fucking it.